The NFL takes us to Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, Colorado. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with the Baltimore Ravens. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. They'll look to throw here. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. Fights through it. Fighting his way through contact. Touchdown! Well, for a tight end, he can definitely motor, and he shows off the wheels there after the catch as he's able to shake free. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0.
Makes the score Ravens 7, Broncos 0.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded right at the goal line. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now a first carry for the former Tar Heel, Javonte Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. They'll run it with Williams. Williams is going to have the first down and a little more. And all the way down to the 41-yard line. 43 yards rushing for him now in his first 2 carries of the ballgame. You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you could hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley. I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Justin Madubuike in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the first down sack. Mond Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
Mond going to throw it. They're going for Hamler, but this is intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick, and the Ravens force the turnover. They'll take over throwing 27. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock.
It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A give to Williams, running right. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Mond looks to throw. Got an open man here, and it's KJ Hamler. And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. They go play action here. Mond. Open man Hamler. That's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Mond out of the shotgun. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Palardy now on to punt as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the 7. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there.
You a star. Star's born, baby.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's a give to Dobbins. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stump that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
2nd and 13. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Back to throw here. Got a man. It's Brown. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
And did he have enough? He did. He kept it online and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into 1st downs and hopefully points.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Mond. This is the tight end Fant. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Williams. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. That was just one of those interceptions from our perspective here. We got a good view at the 50-yard line mid-level that quarterback and receiver were not on the same page.
Just by his reaction, I'm talking about the quarterback, he expected something different from his receiver. Whether he expected him to break in, out, deeper, shorter, they'll determine that on the sideline. But bottom line, you could see that he thought he'd be in a different spot, except the defender was not his intended target.
Dobbins trying the left side. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Brought down at the 35-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0, our score. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the Broncos are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you've got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. Here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
That is taken in by the tight end Fant. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long.
3 down, 3 down. Mike 40, Mike 40. Oh, you know why this team showed up?
They give it to Williams, running right. Into the secondary, past the 40. And all the way up to the 46. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. He'll get that complete to the tight end Harris. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Mond looks to throw on 1st down. He's going to air one out. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Absolutely no disguise on that one. They just went for it. Put him out there and said, go deep. Let's try and hit him. Unfortunately, to no avail.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Back to the air, Mond. This pass caught by Hamler. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag. They were looking good on second down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. Here's Mond. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. And we're going 30 seconds.
Third down from the gun, it's Mond. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. And now that brings up 4th down there. A loss of 6 yards on the sack. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
These two teams making their final adjustments before coming out for the second half. And for the call, we go back out to Denver and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
They'll set up a throw. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger gain.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he will have a first down here at about the 40.
And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
On first down, Williams. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Mond's throw there complete to Hamler. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you?
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
Mond to the air on 1st and 10. Williams brings it in. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. I don't know what they they talked about at halftime, whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy's made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Taking it about the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their halftime lead now evaporated. We're back to level following that touchdown a moment ago.
And that shouldn't change the mindset a whole lot from an offensive perspective because they already knew this was going to be a hard-fought game. Now they just need to go out, execute their game plan, and keep moving.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
At the 26-yard line.
A give, Dobbins trying the right side. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. It makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Second and 4. This one caught by his tight end, Andrews. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A big play there on the catch and run.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for first and goal. He'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
Second and 2. Flushed out right. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take possession here at their own 33. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Welcome back now to Denver. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Mond looks to throw. He's got his big tight end, Fant, and he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He gets it complete to Harris. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
They go play action here. Mond. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Odafe Oweh came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. They'll hand it off now. Williams. They get 5 yards on the run there. Still left staring at a 3rd and about 14.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And this one is right down the middle. And they will take the lead at 13-10. You talk about a big kick under pressure in the 4th quarter. I mean, that wasn't like a 33-yarder. That was long distance.
Not only does it show the faith that they have in him, but also remember, if they miss that one, they're giving up the ball near midfield. So they had to be very confident that he was going to put that one through the posts.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they really need to forget about their last time out, the turnover that led to a field goal. So now they try to regroup, trailing in the final quarter. Obviously, they'd love a touchdown, but 3 would suffice. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They'll look to throw here. And he'll go right back to Andrews. You know, you're following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under. CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. They'll drop to throw. Going to throw right side here. Complete. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. And that's now a half dozen interceptions for him over the last 2 games. Cassidy, remember, he threw 3 in the last ball game and now 3 more here.
And the way that you presented, partner, I'm not sure what sounds worse, right? Half a dozen over the last 2 games or 3 the last game, 3 this game. Either way, it's way too many. And that's something they'll have to work on, hoping to get through the rest of this game without having to address it again.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And now a timeout taken here defensively with 2:07 remaining. So they'll also have the stop coming up at the 2-minute warning. 2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. Bond going to throw it. He completes it to Boyd. And he'll wind up picking up about 4 as that is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Now Williams. Williams is going to have the first down and a little more. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Javonte Williams. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Broncos capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. He'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. The perennial Pro Bowler Aaron Donald gets the sack. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Now the question is obvious. Do you try to kick the field goal right here knowing that you need 2 scores? I would be thinking about it if I were on that sideline. Get the field goal now, try and get the touchdown later.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down. All right. right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And the Broncos are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20.